All right, welcome back to the Artie Lange Show and the Big Easy. We got music, we got food, we got fun, and we got a Saints player. This is perfect. Joining us is Garrett Hartley, the place kicker for the New Orleans Saints. Thanks for coming, man.
Glad to be here, guys, definitely.
First of all, I don't know if you heard, the show made some news earlier. We were talking at Media Day with a guy on the Niners, Chris Culliver, and I just want to get your thoughts on this. I asked him if there were any gay players on the 49ers, and he basically said that he alluded to the fact that there weren't, and they would not be welcome in the locker room if there were. Talk about that in the NFL, the idea of a gay player being out while he is playing in the NFL. How do you think that would go, being a guy in the NFL?
Oh, man. Definitely. Been here 35 seconds and you put me on the spot.
I know it's a hard thing, but I mean, listen, you're a guy in the NFL, and listen, you're a guy in the league. I'm curious how that, I think will be very difficult for the guy, you know?
I'm sure it would.
Right.
If that was the case in whoever's situation, I definitely feel that, coming out and being public about it would be something that they probably don't do.
Right.
And if there are, then, they keep it to themselves and obviously keep it pretty tight-knit that way, people in the media.
It's just how it is, right, with the NFL, you think?
Yeah, there's probably no doubt. I mean, I've never came across anyone that was obviously open about it.
Right.
But at the same time, people are,
They're who they are.
Yeah, just because, they play, in the NFL or any professional sport for that matter, probably wouldn't dictate what I guess scenarios they like to do when they're on their time.
I get it is. I'm sorry to put you on the spot, but it's an awkward question. I mean, look, you answered it the way I think any logical person would. It's just a hard situation to talk about, but hopefully it'll get better. But what do you think about the NFL as far as the concussion thing? And some guys are saying it's not going to be a league, or it might be two-hand touch in 20 years. Do you think we're going?
Probably all defensive players saying that.
Yeah, well, exactly. Is it going in the right direction, or is it bad for the game? Because I think a lot of people like the violent aspect of it.
I definitely think looking at it from two different perspectives. You have the fans, obviously, that want to see the collisions. They want to see, the big hits, the big plays, and obviously, the players, they were taught to play that way from a very early age, and it's very hard to say, okay, well, all of a sudden now, okay, we know you can't leave with the crown of the helmet, but what's to dictate a receiver from dropping down whenever they're targeting, and then all of a sudden they have a shoulder to
Of course, yeah. I mean, you're talking about guys in the heat of battle. You never know what's going to happen. You know,
and it's a livelihood. They're not trying to go out there and hurt other guys.
Right.
And however, I really believe that with the helmets and the progression that they're making as far as concussions go, all the testing that's being done, conducted with the NFL and Rydell, I believe.
Yeah, sure.
Obviously, kicking, that's hopefully one thing I don't ever have to.
Well, I mean, as a place kicker, maybe it'll be better for you.
I mean, who knows?
The kicking game in this particular Super Bowl is interesting to me because you got a guy for the Niners, David Akers, who was awesome last year, then really struggled this year. And then the rookie for Baltimore, Justin Tucker, has been phenomenal this season.
He's been on fire.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
you need that, man.
Yeah.
I mean, look, ask Scott Norwood and ask Adam Vinatieri. I don't know how you say it.
Vinatieri is.
There's two guys on both ends of the spectrum. Norwood, forget about it.
And Vinatieri is the most clutch guy of all time. But I mean, Akers, what's going through his mind this week? I mean,
obviously, during the playoffs, it's kind of like you live for another day. So whatever game that say, NFC Championship's behind him now. He's focused. Hey, I'm playing in the Super Bowl, and I'm going to help my team go out there and try to earn the ring. So I think from a confidence standpoint, obviously he knows what he's doing. And he's been in the league a long time, doing very, very well. If I was to bet on it, I don't know why people are so concerned. Obviously, yeah, he struggled here and there. Candlestick is one of the hardest stadiums to kick in, being a place kicker. You're talking about swirling winds. I was saying before, I was like, I had a 47-yarder there that changed direction 3 times. A lot of times it's a luck of the draw.
Yeah.
So from a standpoint as being, prepared, I would never doubt David Akers.
How much do you hate punters? You know, because I mean, of the two kicking positions, honestly, of the two kicking positions, you have real pressure. I mean, there's real pressure.
Is that where we use like real?
Yeah, no. I mean, it really is. That is a hard. Like, look at a guy like Scott Norwood, man. One bad kick, he misses by 4 feet. In Jersey, we have a string of stores that sell auto parts. Norwood Auto Parts. Okay. After he missed that kick,
they changed the name.
They almost had to, because everyone wouldn't go there, because everyone said if you got auto parts from there, your car would veer to the right. I mean, like, he ruined an entire business. And look, and you're talking about a talented guy. And a punter. I mean, I could punt. You know?
I would love to see that. Are you going to do it shirtless, holding the sandwich?
I would love that. See, I think that would be entertaining. I think more people would rather see me do that than most of the punters. I mean, no, it's honestly, of the kicking positions, it must aggravate you to see a punter getting laid on the road when it should be you. It should be you getting all the girls, because a punter is it's a nothing position, and you are maybe the most pressure-packed position of anyone in sports is a place kicker in the NFL.
Probably one of the tightest on a short leash, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, it is.
As far as the whole,
the punter, they're pains in the asses a little bit, right?
You know, I'll let you call it as you see it. That's cool.
Say you and a punter in a strip club, and he pulls a stripper out of there. The last stripper he gets.
Well, first off, who wants to bring home a stripper from a strip club?
Now, listen, speak for yourself over there. I mean, for me, that's a good night. Okay, just say you're in whatever place you like to go to pick up broads, and you know, he gets the last girl because he says he's a kicker for the Saints. Doesn't that make you want to strangle him? Now you have to go home and pleasure yourself.
That's almost like false advertisement, right? That's almost like Subway saying we have a 12-inch sub when I'm 11.6 and a half inches.
Right, exactly. That's a perfect analogy. You're a kicker. When she said, "Oh, you're a kicker for the Saints, you make field goals," and he lets her think that, and he bangs her, and you really have all he does is punt the ball.
Yeah, but what if you didn't know that you already hung out with her 2 weeks prior?
See that? Listen. See, that's
like
the
I said,
NFL.
You know, it's either side of the spectrum. So how you look at it.
What you're saying is you banged a lot of the punters' wives. Is that what you're saying? Do you think?
Let's clarify this.
I think a punter. I think you should be able to get a punter's wife. That's what I think. Yeah, like this. You should go. You should be having sex with me because I have the real pressure.
Oh man, no. I think the pressure would definitely be on yourself. Probably not to touch him.
Hey, I got something for you, Garrett.
Well played.
You hit the game-winning field goal, and everybody rushes to you. They throw you up on their shit.
I know.
But you miss the game-winning field goal, and they won't talk to you.
Right.
I mean, talk about friends that are, you know.
So I kept a journal.
Fair weather. Did you?
Yeah. No.
Really?
Yeah. Not a lie.
Okay.
Kept a journal. After every game, kind of write down your thoughts. I know it sounds like whatever, but seriously. So because I plan on writing a book after I'm done playing.
That's a good idea.
So keeping these thought processes through the highs of the highs, obviously the lows of the lows, and realizing that what we do is, what have you done for me lately, and what are you going to do for me in the future?
Okay.
It doesn't pertain to, does he go out there, does he make the kick, does he miss the kick? It's, how does the team and the ownership feel about you obviously as a person, but as a player, and how you're going to benefit the team in the future.
Sure, you want to be respected, Yeah, right? I mean, come on, that's what it's about.
Well, yeah, obviously, especially, because contracts aren't guaranteed.
So, in your journal, in this book, what you're telling us is you're going to trash some people because they're scumbags. They've treated you like a scumbag.
Well, I mean, I definitely have a list.
Yeah.
Drew Brees isn't on that
I'll tell you what,
list,
look at that face. He's scaring the hell out of me. Yes, Drew Brees. That's a good point. That's a good point. Drew Brees, he drives downfield, gets in field goal position to win a game, and you miss it. Well, how does he treat you? He seems like a class act, but I don't know.
Drew is the first one in there, telling me, hey, don't worry, you'll get it next time.
Right.
He's always that positive thing that I guess that you would read about and hear about as a kids about how players, are in the locker room, and he is that to the T. Between him and his family, and just who he is as a person.
He's really a good guy. He's almost a bore.
Yeah, no, just.
No, I mean, he's such a good guy. It's almost like Flacco's the same way. He's kind of boring almost.
I definitely wouldn't say boring, but yeah,
okay.
definitely crosses all the T's and dots the I's. So.
Right. Oh, that's good.
And me, sometimes I'm like, crossing the I's and dotting the T's.
Well, yeah, you're a football player. It's hard.
The thing is, though,
there's a difference.
No, but you don't miss much. I mean, you're 60 for 71 in your career.
That
in
is
4
something
seasons,
else, man.
And 18 to 22 this year. I mean, you've hit 85% of your kicks. I mean, do they remember that, or is it only the very last 1 or 2? I mean, at some point, the body of work has to count for something, correct?
Maybe.
Yeah.
But at the end, I can't worry about that. I got to worry about,
You got to worry about the next kick.
Yeah.
You gotta worry about the
how
next
am I?
kick.
Just like, we go out there, we missed the first one in Dallas. I'm like, all pissed off. It was a chip shot field goal. Maybe something didn't work out in whatever operation, or you rush the kick, you just duff it left, whatever. Also, if I ever opened up a bar in New Orleans, I'm going to call it wide left.
Perfect. Now, look, man, the book, Wide Left, I think you're going to have a great post NFL career.
Well, I didn't tell you, it's kind of like a pop-up book.
Hey, look, I think for most NFL fans, that would work fine.
Yeah,
Scratch and sniff, I think, would be better.
Well, yeah, that and, 12 inches down to 11 and a half. And,
No, I understand what you're saying. What we can take away from this is that punters are scumbags, and basically you have a list of guys who have treated you poorly, teammates that are going to be out.
You ever saw Billy Madison?
Sure, with Adam Sandler.
Yeah. What happens at the end of the movie?
At the end of the movie?
Mm-hmm. Man, I'm glad I apologize to that guy.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Exactly.
No, just seeing where your movie reference was. But
I haven't seen it in a while, but I understand.
Have you had a guy though, like a big defensive guy, like get in your face or something and like mistreat you after a game? I mean,
no. Obviously, there's been people talk and thing gets out, but understandable. Just like if one of our guys was to go out there, I mean, if you have a problem with how he's playing, you would hope that they would come up to you personally versus go to the media about it. Obviously, and like a man should do. If they have a problem with you, they come up, confront you face to face. Obviously, that doesn't happen. The guys know that the type of difficulties. Obviously, they give us a hard time about practice, but because they say, hey, we bring a 6-pack and a 9-iron, and show up to practice. No, sorry, that's just Jano. He was telling me about that.
Janikowski, talking about?
Yeah, who knows?
Jano, I like that. Camaraderie. Now, so talk about what it's like to get your head coach back, man, and your feelings about Sean Payton. Is he on the list, or you like this guy?
Yeah. Okay. Sorry.
That's all right. Take your time.
Yeah.
As Chris Culliver's proven, you have to think about your answers.
Well, actually, I'm just proving a point, trying to build suspense. No, Sean's just we missed him this year.
Yeah.
That's
evident, man, because you got. I can tell you guys like him, and
yeah, you got your guy. You used to going about things in a certain way. I'm not saying we didn't change anything, but just hearing the voice that's telling you in the right direction. Obviously, I'm happy for Coach Cromer with, I guess, being, getting the OC, right?
Yeah, sure. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, then, obviously Joe Vitt, he's definitely top 5, coaches I would, love to just pick their brain and just talk to.
Right.
Not as a coach, but just as a person.
Now, you played with Reggie Bush, right?
I did.
Did you ever see Kim Kardashian take a dump anywhere?
Maybe like out of the bathroom. I didn't actually see the process taking place.
Did you ever see that ass come out of those pants?
I don't get it. Everyone wants to harp on that whenever, like, in person, it's like, obviously from, like, watching the show and, being a fan, and I'm like, oh, my God, that's Reggie Bush. Like, when my first day I signed on with the Saints, I'm like, so, like, what's up, bro?
Exactly. You want to see what it's like to bang her, right?
Yeah, that was actually my first question. I mean, it wasn't even for an autograph. It was like, no. I mean, yeah, Kim, no. Really, I've met her a couple times. Really nice girl. Real petite.
Stupid.
Really nice girl.
Yeah. She seems dumb as a rock. I've met her, too.
That's good.
Yeah.
Like, Garrett, do you feel with your teammates like you're one of the, does it feel normal like you're a regular teammate? I've always wondered that with kickers.
But place
whether
kicker
it's Reggie
being a part of the gang.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
like when you go out for beers and whatever.
Yeah, absolutely. Normally, we're the round saying the first round's on us, and then normally they're probably picking up the last 5 or 6 for me.
Right, but that's how it should be, because I'm telling you, you're the most important guy out there, I think. I mean, think about it. You're expected to make that field goal. Like, in overtime, when you get past the 30-yard line, everybody's starting to celebrate because they assume you're going to make a 40-yard or a 35 or a 40,
What were you taught in 6th grade when you assume things?
Oh, right. You make an ass out of you and me.
Well, yeah. But sometimes, what if we just make the ass out of them and then call Reggie up, let him know, and then we're good for the